Welcome back, guys, to the third match for today. We will have Ravenclaw playing up against DQS, which was a bit of a rematch from the upper bracket. This is the lower bracket final, and the winner of this is going to proceed on to the finals to play against the Box Ladies for a spot at FSL Elite as the Vietnamese representatives. But for now, we are in picks and bans. On the blue side, we see Ari, Nilly, and Leona banned away. And on the red side, it's going to be the Ramus, Zoe, and LeBlanc.
So clearly Ravenclaw were watching the previous match. I mean, they saw the Leona, they saw how strong it was in the Ari as well.
Still though, the Fiora and the Syndra left open begs a couple of questions, and
there's
immediately
Syndra
locked
right there.
in the Syndra has been selected by Drama Queens here. They're looking for the second pick though. Not sure what they're looking for because, like I said, Fiora still open might just signal to Drama Queens that they want to lock it in instantly.
I mean, then again, Ravenclaw might have a strategy to go up against that. Maybe that's why they didn't ban it, but we'll
Right.
have to see. A few more seconds left, and they pick Caitlyn instead.
So Caitlyn against Kai'Sa is an interesting matchup. Like I said, Caitlyn is one of those champions that has a lot of conditions required to make her work successfully. One of them being a strong laning phase. In patch 7.1, excuse me, not 7, 9.13, we saw Caitlyn Lux as a very dominant bot lane duo. I think that Caitlyn Nami is still pretty strong as well. So there are a couple of options here that I think DQS can look to select for themselves if they want. Jonathan will be the second pickup here for Ravenclaw, and the third here. I think you should be looking towards
Nami?
taking away the Nami.
Alright, well, it looks like they will
Kai'Sa
take
Nami's
away
kind of
Nami.
meh though.
Well, I mean, they took it away, I guess, from that Caitlyn, so you can see what there's to reply here. There's still a lot of supports on the board. I mean, basically only Leona and Nami have been taken out.
What's interesting here is you can then play an aggressive bot lane that's looking to all in. So you could play something like Caitlyn Thresh and focus on pressuring out the Nami Kai'Sa, because anyone that has CC will more or less guarantee Caitlyn hits her traps.
That's
And it's a lot of additional damage on top of that. Or you could go the reverse direction and play Caitlyn Janna, which is pretty much saying, well, we're going to auto attack you to death with the shields. But I think looking at that composition, the Caitlyn with supplemented of hard engage might just be the better option for bot lane.
That's right. I mean, Thresh, Nautilus, all these are still available, so you can definitely pick that one up. Meanwhile, move into the second banning phase, and Akali is taken away from the side of Ravenclaw.
Akali's not a champion we see all too much of. We only saw her play one time yesterday, and that's more or less the nature of FSL. Sometimes the mid laners prefer to play these wave clear mages as opposed to the assassins.
No, that's the Fiora ban right
Okay,
there.
great.
And Ravenclaw,
I think it's a great ban coming in.
yeah, I mean, they realized that they didn't ban in the first round, and they were probably praying. Who knows? They could have been praying that DQ didn't pick it up.
But that's it. Like you were bringing up, DQ might have had a bit of an easier game the previous time.
That's true
So,
also.
yeah, so they were a bit more disrespectful in the draft. This time they're drafting properly. They're not leaving support to last. They're not early picking a Fiora. So
Yeah.
it's go time this time, and they're being a bit more serious. So the last ban here will be the Yuumi. I think Caitlyn Yuumi not too good. It's strong, but it's a weak transition into the mid game. I would honestly prefer to see them lock in a tankier top lane and support that can follow up and supplement the engage.
If you look at DQ's bans, 4 of them are on mid lane champions, and 3 of them are actually on assassins.
Right.
So maybe the mid laner of Ravenclaw could be a assassin player.
Part of it as well as just being afraid of playing Syndra into the assassin matchup. I
That's
think
true.
that's quite tricky. We saw how Heronade dealt with the Syndra the previous game by using the Ahri. This time the Ahri no longer opens. You have to be a bit more creative if you want to find options to deal with this. Yeah, Irelia is actually a really good option, and this could be put in the mid lane against the Syndra pretty effectively.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Flex top as well, and it could be Corki
Oof,
instead that's
okay.
picked for mid lane.
So Corki mid, Irelia top. This team lacking a bit of a front line, but has a strong ability to dive on the opponent's back line instead. Look at the summer spells here coming in from the mid lane. I don't think that's gonna be the proper choice.
I highly doubt
Yeah.
it. Probably deciding between one of the two and to take along with Flash. And we look at the last pick, and it's probably Nautilus. Yeah, you mentioned earlier the hard engage.
So the reason why I want them to pick up some sort of hard engage is, one, it's to punish the Kai'Sa Nami. Kai'Sa Nami is really strong if you leave them alone in the isolated 2v2 because the sustain and the training potential is very high. you get the Nautilus, you punish the army that wants to walk forward and wants to trade against you. And anytime you land CC, Caitlyn can actually land traps and supplement that sort of crowd control style. So the combo is going to be like Nautilus walking up, landing Dredge line. Caitlyn puts the traps around the target that's been hooked in, and then you just CC her down with the autos and as well as the Riptide, and then you auto with the Empowered auto attacks from Caitlyn.
I mean, we've seen like how they dealt with Nami the previous round, and the way they dealt with Nami was just brutal.
That was
so
extremely punishing. Like the moment they hit level 6, they snap their fingers and decide they want to all in the Nami.
Yeah, now with Nautilus they can do the same thing again. I mean, the R is pretty much guaranteed stun onto the Nami, and they can just put a bunch of traps below.
This is going to be a game that is Kai'Sa Corki focused. So there are a lot of sort of abilities here on the DQS side that allows them to isolate and lock down single priority targets, Corki and Kai'Sa specifically. So you look at the fights, it's going to be something like a depth charge onto the Corki followed by Unleash Power. It's going to be Hex the Equilibrium into a Body Slam onto the Kai'Sa. That's that sort of thing, right? You have abilities that you can chain into one another to isolate priority targets. And
Lock
if
them down.
Ravenclaw, if you can lock them down, Ravenclaw is in a bit of a sticky situation. But if Ravenclaw is the one engaging well, the story changes completely.
I mean, they got Cataclysm, Tidal Wave, it's very strong engage, and of course I really like fly in and just jump around.
I was actually talking to Jensen about this. Like, I was wondering how come every time I play a rally, I do decently well in lane, but I can't seem to contribute in team fights. And he mentioned the core point about Aurelia is this: you can't be primary engaged. You have to be secondary engaged. You have to be the one that flies in to clean up after all the CC has been used up. So as long as you can do that, as long as you can get the correct timing on the entry, you'll be able to actually win these fights for your team. But if you come in too early, then you're just going to get knocked back, CC, and insta-die. Like, there's no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's Jarvan to really help with that. Just Cataclysm in. If he has a Stone Plate, just activate that. It's going to be one really, really tanky Jarvan standing in the middle of everyone, absorbing everything.
One of those games where Jarvan has to go Cinderhawk. Like, there's no question about it. You have to go Cinderhawk. You have to be the front line. You have to do sort of Cinderhawk Conqueror and hope that you can still supplement damage for your team. Because if you go Warrior, you're just going to get insta-bursted by the Syndra. You're going to get insta-bursted by the Gragas, who for the most part nowadays, the meta
AP,
the meta style for Gragas is AP with Predator, right? And if you combo the skills properly, he actually builds you up.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, even Camille can burst Jarvan down.
So there are actually multiple threats on the DQS side that you might want to be careful for if you're Jarvan. Just go full tank, wouldn't be too bad. And another option of going full tank is what I've seen a lot of players do on Jarvan, or at least jungle champions that run Conqueror, is that you take the Legend Tenacity, right?
Ah, yes.
So you get a bit of tenacity from that, and then you go for Ninja Tab Eyes. So you get reduction on auto attacks, you get tenacity, and then you get a bunch of health and armor from Cinderhawk. It actually makes you a very potent front line, and you're still doing damage from Conqueror.
Yeah, I mean, Conqueror, as we mentioned in previous game, it's just such a good mastery to have.
It's one of the best keystones on Jarvan, actually. I think Electrocute is actually super overrated. You go for Conqueror, so you can still deliver some sort of impact in the fights later on.
Yeah, personally, when I play Jarvan, I myself take Conqueror. It's just fun watching them, like, wonder why you're doing so much damage. You just slap them repeatedly.
The best part is Jarvan procs it quite well, considering, auto EQ auto is 4.
Yeah, exactly.
The fifth one is almost guaranteed once you knock them up. And if you have Cataclysm, that's an extremely empowering Cataclysm on top of your initial combo. So that's why Conqueror works on a lot of these champions that can stay in fights and sustain up the damage. If you're like a burst champion, like a Kha'Zix or
then
just don't take Conqueror. Just take Electrocute, get the trade, and then walk out.
But Lee Sin and Jarvan, they're just so strong with Conqueror. And we're gonna see just how strong it can be in this game. Hopefully, I mean,
it's worth noting that this game, Sejuani was left open.
Oh yeah,
and I think she's actually quite a strong power pick in 9.14. Both teams completely choosing to ignore the Sejuani, which would have had a larger impact on the game state if they locked it in, because against Syndra and against Irelia Corki, these champions that are easily locked down by the Glacial Prison when it comes to the mid and top side, and the threat level of the Sejuani is much higher when you have Aurelia on the top side as well, or the Camille. Both of them are really good at applying the passive stacks for Sejuani. So I think that was a champion that was glossed over a bit too quickly from them if they wanted to draft like this.
Yeah, maybe they probably had a plan with the Predator boots. I mean, these kind of things really can be planned.
It seems like a comfort pick for her as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
We saw her
that's
pick up the earlier game today, and she did pretty well. I'm not going to complain.
If it works, don't fix it, you know.
That's true. Yeah, but moving on to the finals, that's a question that I think both teams might want to ask themselves. There are options available, right? You just can't overlook them way too quickly, and your opponents will definitely look to capitalize on that. So the moment you overlook these options, where you're going to be giving away a lot of advantages in the draft.
That's right, and we are going to be going to Summoners Rift really soon. Once again, it is Ravenclaw against the Drama Queens, the winner of which will go to the finals and face off against Box Ladies, I believe is the name.
Box Ladies.
Yes, and then see who gets into who wins. And we're in Summoners Rift right now.
Right, swapping over. Here we go, the cheese once more, but we'll get spotted
Ooh,
out. Oh,
actually
great
landing
hook.
on the Corky, a lot of damage, but he's just gonna walk away from that one. Still, it was a really good hook.
That hook was from like the front.
Max
Yeah, that was
range,
max
yeah.
range, like the side of his mid lane all the way onto the opponent's side. That was the full length of the mid lane.
Exactly, clearly showing that you shouldn't play around with them at all.
Now that their early aggression has been spotted out, though, DQS are gonna have to find a separate way into the jungle. You can see they're still sort of looking to cheese out of. Well, cheese might not be the best word, but scout and early ward the opponent's jungle camps.
Find out which camp Jarvan is starting at, and Nautilus might just walk in, or might just hang around in the mid lane instead. Other than that, early start is fairly standard, and Nautilus did place a ward, so he will spot out Jarvan if he proceeds over to the birds, the raptors.
Why is this why is this ward on the raptor camp so important? The answer is pretty simple. If you see Jarvan walking towards the Krugs, in other words, he doesn't go to the raptors, you can't go for the level 2 all-in. You can't capitalize on level 2 all-in because Jarvan might level 2 cheese gank you.
Yeah.
So the moment you see him go to raptors and he goes to blue, that is the window you can all-in level 2 with Nautilus. But in this case, because they didn't see him, they're going to be more careful on the bot side, knowing that Jarvan is around Krugs.
Yeah, that's right. So Jarvan, hearing the Krugs, probably walk over and clear the rest of his jungle as well, and then he'll walk over the ward. Looks like he's gonna do that right now. Actually, opts to walk by the other way and is not spotted out by the ward.
Yeah, see, this pathing is so good because now you don't give any information over to your opponents, and this Caitlyn Nautilus level 2 might not even come to fruition. They have to be very careful. They're going with the level disadvantage.
Yes, level 1. There we go. Hit level 2. And Nautilus already dropping to half health, but Caitlyn's able to land a lot of damage on Kaisa, lands that full peel over Peacemaker, but no one actually steps onto the traps, and look at that. So much damage put on the Caitlyn, and Nami can just heal all that back up.
100% misplay coming in from the Nautilus. Going in level 1 against level 2.
That's right.
Not coordinating with your AD carry either. This is going to cost them a lot if this is something that continues to happen more.
Yeah, I mean, it was really just such a small misplay there, but with huge consequences. Meanwhile, on the top lane, stun not landing for Irelia means that Jarvan will not jump in with Black Drag, so he walks away. Spots out Gragas though.
Immediate pings onto the Gragas, knowing that the opponent is inside the Tri-Brush on top. Taking a look at the jungle camps though, he is one behind, so the Gragas with level 3 and double buffs will be able to walk over here.
Oh, look at this. Valkyrie straight and flash in. Good scatter of the week means that Jarvan's gonna be pushed away, unable to secure the kill. Flash being used, and Herone actually held on to both of her summoner spells.
Yeah, so that's a net positive trade in the mid lane for the Syndra. And because the time was being bought though, the Gragas is gonna secure the Scuttle Crab, and right now this Jarvan is in a lot of trouble.
Jarvan's in a lot of trouble. EQ's over to try to get out of this one. Now they're kind of being sandwiched, and now it's Corky in the trouble. Forced to flash away, gets knocked up, dropped so low, goes down for first blood. Now Gragas will be the next one to fall unless he flashes away. Irelia chasing will get the reply kill, but so will Camille, and Hookshot is up once again. A flash forced away, 2 for 1 trade.
Yeah, at the end though, the top lane is the one with the advantage. She comes away with a flash and a great position for the wave. You can see Irelia is forced to recall and then teleport back in. Camille can now get control, shove the wave in, and then sort of hard reset and then walk back into lane.
That's right, Camille now even has a little blue buff to help herself out. Just a little bit.
Yeah, this is pretty good if you're Camille because you can then spam your Qs to clear the wave out. Right. She can get a proper recall here, doesn't have to burn the teleport to walk to get back into lane.
We'll walk away with that 1 assist advantage. Very comfortable in the top lane. Recalls.
Jungle advantage going heavily in favor of this Gragas. Every turn that the Jarvan is trying to take a camp is getting met with obstacles right here as we see the Gragas coming in.
Yep, does have the Predator boots already, so we'll definitely be looking to gank one of these lanes. Knowing that mid lane has no flash also means it's extra tempting.
In the grand scheme of things though, the jungle camps is heavily in favor of the Gragas, who's definitely going to hit level 6 earlier just because he has access to all these additional pickups.
He's going to pick up Krunts, that's a lot of experience for him.
On bot lane they have to be careful, they're pushing the wave up but it's going to bounce back across. This is a lane still though that wants to play aggressively, wants to punish the Kai'Sa Nami, who is slowly sailing ahead in terms of CS and pressure.
Ooh, Gragas is up at top lane, has the Predator boots. Wave is pushed up by a little bit though.
He's sitting here for the counter gank. The reason like you creep into the lane like that is because you want to sit here for the counter gank just in case Jarvan comes into the lane to pressure you out. Overall though, doesn't seem like the Ravenclaw jungler is gonna be approaching this top side anytime soon, but the gank will come through.
Just destroyed, health bar deleted for Irelia. Easy kill for Gragas.
Overstepping her boundaries in the top side area that's gonna get punished. And this top lane once more. It looks like it's starting to snowball for the top lane of DQ. It's very reminiscent of the previous game that we watched.
Yeah, that's right. Very reminiscent. I mean, Camille, definitely another split push threat. Can be pretty scary if she gets ahead, and now 1-0-2 is ahead. Gets turret plate as well.
Yeah, the gold is pretty surmountable here. At least she's getting the base items for the Tiamat, and once that's complete, right, she's just gonna be shoving the wave in. Strange to see that although the Gragas has been focusing on the top side, the Jarvan hasn't really done anything to pressure the rest of the map.
Exactly. Hasn't really done anything at all, in fact.
And that's largely also because, you know, early on, he got stopped at a lot of these jungle checkpoints.
Yep.
But at level 5, you know, you're a Jarvan, you should be looking to make things happen. You already burned flashes on the mid lane earlier, and now it's back up. You burn flashes, you have to regank lanes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, right now, summoner spells on the side of DQ all out except for Gragas' flash. And Gragas is going to take his blue buff and his Gorman. I believe that he should hit his level 6 off that. So, becomes even more scary.
Yep, level 6 Gragas with Predator boots available means it's a instant gank if you walk into the lane and make contact with Body Slam. I think right now the call is to punish bot lane. You definitely try to get something down on the bottom half of the map and then transition into the dragon.
Bot lane on the side of Ravenclaw is going to recall, however, and looks like Kai'Sa's going for the Manamune, picks up the tier and the pickaxe as well.
This is quite a poor buy coming in from the AD carry of Ravenclaw because, like I was alluding to earlier in the previous game, Manamune is an item that once you get, you pretty much just don't do anything while it charges up. You go through this dip in power as the item is scaling up, and against a Caitlyn who you want to come out of lane hit with. Against Caitlyn, you want to come out of lane with more gold, with more power. This is an item that's not going to benefit Ravenclaw.
3 men around mid. Sad girl one just gonna clear out the wave, poke up Syndra a little bit, make that recall happen. Jarvan is now at the top side of the map. Gragas just walks straight in.
Managing to steal away two camps here away from the Gragas. That's overall a net gain, of course, but the tempo advantage now is that he has full knowledge of where the Gragas is, considering he dropped the control ward as well. Looking to make the play happen on the top side. The stun connecting is going to be all in.
That's going to be an all in, but the hook shot means that Camille can just get out of that one so easily. Irelia's ultimate is burnt now, so that's power from her in a 1v1, but man, things are happening at top side because Predator boots have been popped, and so is Corki is here as well, coming in the Valkyrie. 1 kill already picked up though, might be too little too late, or maybe not, because now Flash is forced from Camille. Corki putting out a lot of damage, but not just enough to find any return kill.
Yeah, still sitting under the turret though, meanwhile getting bubbled
and
underneath.
bot lane, look at that damage, those plasma stacks, and a little bit of a misplay flashes back in, but a lot of damage. Good killer instinct to dodge out on that Pillar of a Peacemaker. A flashback, however, finds one return kill, and looks like Nami might just find this next kill. Yep, there we go. Tidecaller's Blessing, and it's a 2-for-1 in bot lane.
Yeah, 2-4 in the bot lane, and they lose the early on the top side. So overall, I think Ravenclaw's power is starting to transition over onto the Kai'Sa Nami, who haven't really been punished all too much. In fact, a bunch of misplays coming in from BU, and inconsistency is the mantra here for DQS.
Looks like there might be a lane swap. Aurelia walking over to mid lane. Camille's gonna move over to respond to that one.
Camille mid lane is not something we're unfamiliar with. We see it quite a lot in other regions as a specific counter pick, right? And I think this unlocks the Camille a bit more actually, because now she can start roaming with her Tiamat. She's almost always going to push the wave out. And the danger of a roaming Camille with Hextech Equilibrium up is, well, Jarvan doesn't get to play League of Legends, and neither does Kai'Sa.
Yep. Really scary stuff. At least Corki might just be able to wave clear as well. I mean, package was used, so that power is kind of missing now. But still, at least able to keep up with the wave clear of the Camille.
Overall, DQS, because of the top lane play, as well as the early skirmish in the river, they are still ahead in terms of gold, 1.3k, right?
Yep.
But the bot lane though, the Caitlyn is the one that's slowly falling behind.
Ooh, Camille just jumping straight onto Sandgirl. Uses the Valkyrie to get out of that. There is no Hextech ultimatum available for this.
I'm kind of concerned for the Syndra who's sitting in the top lane, because it is a long lane, right? And like, sure, she does magic damage against Aurelia, which is always good. Hold on.
Ooh, wait, because there's a death charge straight onto Nami. A lot of damage, but she's able to flash away. Now Teleport's coming in to reply. It looks like it's gonna be a party. Cataclysm straight onto J4. I mean, straight from J4 onto Gragas, and he goes down. I really pick him a double kill, missed the ultimate, but that doesn't even matter. Hook shot out by the Camille. DQS is on the run.
Yeah, that play was disastrous. The explosive cast knocked the AD carry away instead, and that shouldn't be happening when she's already been knocked out by the depth charge. So overall, just a bunch of mechanical misplays from DQS, and like I said, inconsistency is the key for them. This game, a lot of the skill shots that should connect are not hitting.
Yeah, and because of that, Ravenclaw is probably gonna take the first turret of the game. Secures a whole lot of plating. DQS does move up to defend and clear out the wave, so they're not gonna get the first turret just yet. But still a big win for them.
Yeah, goalie swings back in favor of Ravenclaw, and on the top side, the Syndra is just grabbing some plates for herself. If you're a DQS, you gotta recompose yourself now. You gotta refocus your energy and say, okay, where am I gonna put the attention of my
jungler?
jungler?
That is not what you wanna do. As we moved away there, I believe Kai'Sa stepped onto a Caitlyn trap. Not a good thing, I mean. But at least they're gonna be able to get this Ocean Dragon. Ooh, whoa, what's going on down here? A good block on the ace in the hole. But Ravenclaw's bot lane is gonna have to back away.
Managed to find the dragon though, so that's not a bad trade overall. Gold is all about even. Turret plates though are gonna expire in a minute or so, and on the top side, Syndra, yeah, she's pretty much claimed all the plates, so that turret has little to no value unless you want the first blood. Going back to reset, she will get the Loon's Echo as well as the Ninja Tab Eyes.
Right.
So funny thing about Ninja Tab Eyes, it reduces physical damage because it has armor on it, but against Corki it actually reduces magic damage because of his
attacks,
the auto attacks are magic damage, right? So this is actually a really good buy coming in. 3 out of 5 members of Ravenclaw use auto attacks to deal their damage. So Ninja Tab Eyes is the optimal buy coming in.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was just about to ask you, and then you mentioned, I was like, ooh, cast a synergy.
You gotta send the jungler to the top side, and as many people as you need to claim the first blood bonus on the top tier 1. That's definitely gonna be a good chunk of gold, and right now because they do have the Herald, they can actually use it in the mid lane as well.
Turret plates will be expiring in just a few seconds. This Kai'Sa Nami lane is just gonna try to probably claim one more. Can't exactly see the turret health. Good dodge there on the hook.
They will get one plate though.
They do get one last plate, and they walk away satisfied.
I don't like the movement coming in from the jungle of the QS here. She's looking to take her buffs instead of focusing on the objectives. At this point in the game, the tempo is so important, and walking into a jungle camp to get a buff immediately lowers your tempo. You have to be a bit higher pace to claim the objectives before your opponent, especially considering how aggressive both sides were early on.
Yeah, now 1v1 in the top lane, level 10 to level 9, and how times have changed. Now Camille is the one on the run.
You get a double kill in the bot lane, that tends to swing the favor of the
Yeah,
matchup.
that is true. Oh, but here, Gragas tends to swing the matchup as well. Lands the explosive cast, knocking back the Irelia. Manages to stun, but not before the hook shot connects with the wall. Flash being forced, and now in the bot side, a push as well. And looks like Ravenclaw will be the one to claim that first blood.
This is what I mean by a tempo play, because the jungler was doing her own camp instead of walking to the top side to secure it. Imagine if Gragas was dead like 20 seconds earlier. The all-in would have happened, they would have been able to claim top tier 1, and for all intents and purposes, it was a lower health target. They could have much easily taken it, but no. You prioritize the red buff, you drop your tempo, and then now you lose a big objective, and the bonus goal associated as well.
You just gonna pay the price for that one. They managed to steal away a blue buff at the very least. And still, first target goal is a lot. They're gonna reset. Corki already completing his Triforce. It's gonna be a lot of damage coming out from him.
So decent power spikes on multiple people. The Corki getting Triforce, like you mentioned, is a big step forward, and I think Aurelia should be. Oh, what is that aggressive play?
That was that was really aggressive.
Yeah, the Aurelia should be looking to back off to get a Triforce of her own. Meanwhile, AD carries, it's a man immune matching an Infinity Edge, and let me tell you, the Infinity Edge definitely wins out.
Definitely. Man, I mean, it's still gonna take quite a while to scale up for the Kai'Sa, going for the late game. Kevin looking pretty solid with that Infinity Edge as well. Gold looks fairly even, just a really 800 gold separates Ravenclaw and DQS.
It's probably going to open up
here
with this referral coming in. The charge coming through, and they should be walking up the claim. Oh, instead they play a bit more safe.
Yeah, they don't want to risk it, and they managed to kill their Herald. It's still very low though.
Now remember what I said about Rift Herald the previous game. Sure, you can use it alone in the lane to get a single charge off, but the most valuable play sometimes is just finding a pick or two and then forcing an enemy rotation before you use the Rift Herald. That way you at least get 1 or 2 charges off and allow a bit more of an advantage to be garnered from the objective.
That's right, I mean, they got a bunch of damage on the outer tower, but that's it. We saw how they, like you mentioned earlier, like used it to much greater effect in the previous game with the Fiora. Well, looks like DQS might not be, you know, the game is definitely harder in this case.
Yeah, compared to the previous one, less of a stomp.
Yeah. So definitely a bit more careful. Whoa, what just happened there?
Cataclysm and an instant flash, I think, yeah.
Tidal Wave being used as well.
Multiple ultimates expanded for a flash, not too bad, but the question is whether they can get vision control over this dragon, because priority now belongs to Ravenclaw. Now, how do you tell who has priority? Well, whoever is pushing the wave up consistently is the one team that has the first advantage to react first.
Oh boy, speaking of reacting first, looks like Ravenclaw has engaged Jarvan, dropping down about half health. Same for the Nautilus as well, and here comes Camille, and they've caught out a Nami, and she goes down instantly. Now a teleport in might not be the best thing for Irelia, who teleports in and just gets destroyed, trapped up, and now Kai'Sa's been hooked as well, forced to flash out of this one, might not even be able to get out of it. Yep, one return kill over from the Corki, but still, that was a 3 for 1.
Yep, multiple misplays there from Ravenclaw. First was walking up and checking fog of war. You can see there's no wards around the riverside, so that was completely blind on your mini-map. There's no vision to speak of from Ravenclaw, right? So they walk in, they get caught by all of that CC. The immediate answer should be to disengage, because guess what? You use Tidal Wave, you use Cataclysm early on. You can't fight here. And then the teleport from Aurelia is just, I'm coming guys, I'm helping, and you cause the rest of your team to die. You lose mid tier 1, you lose the dragon. Game snowballs now in favor of DQS.
Exactly, and such a big cooldown, so it stops the Aurelia from pushing, because Camille didn't teleport down, she just walked. Yeah, so now she just teleport. And Baron is coming up in like slightly more than a minute.
And the reason why she could walk is because top tier 1 fell, so you can actually set up a slow push and shove the wave in, which is exactly what they did. The wave was heavily leaning towards Ravenclaw, and the top laner for DQS could take a time and stroll down to join the fight.
Ooh, another hook through a bunch of damage gonna be landed on Kai'Sa, actually dropping to like 300 health.
Yeah, the way Kai'Sa's positioning gives me a bit of anxiety because she is 33% of her team's damage, right? It's
Yep.
split between Irelia, Corki, and Kai'Sa. As the game progresses later on, she's going to take on more of a damage role, and Irelia is just going to fall off because Irelia's job is just going to be to isolate a single target.
Yeah. If you look at the goal leads here, they look fairly even across the board except for top lane, with a slight advantage in mid lane, with a slight advantage for DQ. Yeah, Syndra just about 1,000 gold above the Corki.
Item-wise, Rapid Fire Cannon has been picked up by the Caitlyn, which is a good two item power spike compared to, like I said, the Manamune and the makings of Guinsoo, right? Manamune is nowhere near functional right now. You need to get Muramana before you're even a champion, as Kai'Sa is. And the Guinsoo is now, the components, sure, they give her an evolved Q, but there's really nothing much she can do in these team fights just yet.
Yes, that's right. Caitlyn looking to pick up a Tabi by the looks of it with that cloth armor sitting in her inventory. So it's gonna become even harder to kill. Javelin forced flag and drag out of that one.
So currently they're sitting on three ninja Tabis in the inventory, might just make a fourth.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, if Gragas changes cooldown boots to Tabi, you'd have a full 5-man Tabi. And oh my goodness, speaking of positioning for the Kai'Sa, what are you doing over there? My goodness. Whew. Tidal wave just being blown like that, and the re-engage, ooh, very, very close there by the skin of his teeth.
Had to flash away.
Yeah, exactly. So much wasted just because Kai'Sa probably wanted a wolf camp.
Yeah, that's the point where you pin question marks on your AD carry because, like I said, you can't afford to get picked out, and that's the all-in. See you, buddy.
Picked off, following the AD carry pretty much.
A bit of a poor stun coming in, and now they're really chasing on in.
3-man Cataclysm coming in. Looks pretty good actually. 2 kills over to the Irelia, getting those resets. Not able to find the Caitlyn, but now Camille jumping back in, taking a lot of damage from Corki as well. But Herene is here, and that means that everyone's just gonna back away.
Yeah, with the Cataclysm, they were able to isolate 2 members with the big one on Corki's ultimate, and that was enough for them to get the resets. Hold on, jumping in.
Might not just jump in. Actually, Camille's the one who's gonna be jumping in, and Irelia is gonna be forced to flash away from that. Flight Seeker, yeah, jumping pretty low, but no killer instinct follow up. I mean, that would be suicide, honestly.
They have to reset here and look at, rather take stock of the situation because their goal lead is only about 1.5k.
Still very small.
It's not enough for you to make plays like that where you just walk in and hope to win the fight.
Exactly. I mean, things look really, really even in this game.
Oh, finally Guinsoo's Rage Blade completed on the Kai'Sa. And on the top side, the Irelia has gotten the makings of a Sterix Gauge, the Jordan's Fist completed. So additional tankiness is going to be good in these fights. You saw how impactful Irelia was in cleaning up the previous fight.
Yep.
The wombo combo like that, if they manage to land it, is going to be quite impactful in this fight.
Actually, she opts for the Titanic Hydra second instead of the Jordan's
too greedy,
Fish.
man. Too greedy.
Exactly. Creed might get the best of her in this case. I think Camille's probably gonna opt for that Sterix though, so...
You need the Sterix because of the lifeline passive. It gives you additional lifesteal and damage, right? So when you're jumping in as Camille, when you're jumping as Irelia, you're almost always gonna be chunked down to half. Sterix Gauge is almost always gonna be it's always gonna be useful. You're always gonna pop it. Whereas Titanic Hydra is such a greedy split push item. You're pretty much saying, yeah, I want to clear the wave in 2 auto attacks, right? But Irelia is already so good at that.
You don't have a Sterix Gauge, so you're just gonna get popped instantly. Just going really low, pops the stopwatch, but that doesn't matter. Shut down over to the Camille. 6-0 and 4 now.
I would never understand people who use stopwatch once they are guaranteed to die. Like, if you have 5 members just behind you, sure, stopwatch all you want, you know. But in the instance you're alone, there's only really a Corki running down to help you. I think saving the stopwatch might have been a better choice.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. Considering that it's not even a Zonius, it just breaks after you use it once. Like, what's the point?
And if you want to get any value of it, you kind of have to build a GA now.
Well, probably would look to do that as like maybe a last item. I don't know.
Well, actually, GA on Divers, the second item, third item, isn't too bad because if you think about GA in the past, and I'm thinking like way back, it just gave resistances, right?
Oh yeah.
GA currently still gives attack damage, it still gives armor. It's not a bad item per se. I know some Nocturne players in the jungle, they actually do like rush GA third item or second item so that when they dive, they buy space for their team.
Well, I mean, there remains to be seen about what item the Irelia gets, but Camille, on the other hand, has clearly heard you because, well, she got a Sterix.
Yeah, this top laner knows what she's doing, that's for sure. Like, I'm convinced like DQS's top laner is actually one of their best players. Even be MVP material. Okay, take a look at the Green Zeus as well as the Mana Mune or Mirror Mana completed for the Kai'Sa. Now she's finally online. So this is some space that they've bought themselves. They have a very good position to jostle for mid-tier 1.
Yeah, that's right. They're not going to be able to get it just barely though, because now Camille's moving down once again, and that's when you've got to start being scared. Package being used, probably timed out, and there we go. Another pause every game.
Well, it's the nature of
League of Legends.
Yeah, League of Legends.
Pauses.
Especially in our region, right, where like the GPL for a period of time was known as like the greener pause league.
Oh yes.
But it happens. We're still trying to figure it out. Once again, guys, we are on like a remote cast. We're casting off a clean feed because Singapore and Vietnam servers are no go. Like we can't IP access them.
Yep, unfortunately. Well, the pause is over at least. So we're back in game, and ooh, what's going on here? Hook shot came out, did not actually connect with the wall, so a little bit of free damage onto the Camille there.
They shouldn't be checking this. There's no vision whatsoever, and there are multiple opportunities for DQS to force a pick here.
Yep, forcing a pick. Whew. Stun landing, but no follow up. And
you should never fight in chokes against Camille, Syndra, or Nautilus because there's so much CC available that they can just tunnel onto a single member.
Exactly. Well, I mean, they do manage to push out of that choke and secure the Scuttle Crab. The battle for vision continues. Clear away those two wards anytime. Ooh, stepping onto a trap to clear that might just be a mistake, might just spell death, but whew, that was close.
Barely escaping, just barely. Had that hook, had it been like a flash hook to force the fight, I think you immediately sacrifice the Nami.
That's right, yeah, it just goes down instantly, becomes sushi. Whoa, what are you doing? Stepping so forward there.
That's multiple question mark plays today.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, AD carry today. Positioning
hasn't been the best position that we looked at. I think top lane in terms of our games today has been the most impressive.
Yeah, but I mean the focus on top lane from pretty much most of the top laners, especially the one on DQS, Foxy, I believe. Just really on the Fiora and on the Camille had a really good showing.
We're 26 minutes in. Goal lead hasn't really climbed all too much. It's still at 2k.
Yep. It's really just anyone's game at this point.
Now, what are the ways that both teams want to use to break this game open? That might be one way.
No. Possibly, yes. Oh, flash. Wait, whoa, what's going on? Jarvan's caught out now because he EQ'd straight in and...
Look at me, man. Look at me, man. There's no one there to follow up. The AD carry support isn't here.
Yep, teleport in, and that looks like that is about it for that fight.
I have no idea why they opted to take that fight when Nautilus and Caitlyn were just like 3 minutes out, right? This is the point where you go into the restaurant and your friend's like, wait, I'm on the grab, don't go in yet.
Yep.
And you order all the food and you decide like, oh yeah, I want to eat this all by myself. There's a weird decision coming in. I don't know why DQS are playing so
feistily,
aggressively. Let's put it that
way.
Okay,
aggressively, fair enough. Yep. Well, they do manage to get an inner turret from Ravenclaw. Baron is the main objective right now.
Well, it's these chokes that are very dangerous because Nautilus is sitting in the wings, Syndra is sitting in the wings. Yep. The moment they connect the stun, you lose the fight in these chokes.
Pretty much. That's true. Ooh. Stun dodged away from Deadman's Plate makes Gragas a little more tanky right now. Corki, having picked up the Infinity Edge also, makes him do a lot more damage.
The 3-item power spike is normally when Corki excels the most. She should be looking for a rapid fire cannon next.
Yep, for that one click, 700, 800 damage.
Because if she lands a crit, one hit crit click onto Caitlyn, it actually does remove her from the fight quite a bit.
Yeah.
Or Syndra as well, you know.
Yep, and looks like he's gonna fight with Skull Crab again. Ooh, Flash actually being forced on. So much damage put onto the Gragas. He will go down. Tidal Wave means that. Actually, it means nothing because Jarvan goes down either way. And whoa, the camera just going up like a tidal wave.
Observer, no, bring us back to the fight.
The fight's going on. Whoa, what's going on? Irelia's in the middle of everybody, flashed away from by the Caitlyn, staying alive. Looks like it's a trade jungler for jungler, top laner for top laner, but Sad Girl White is still chasing in. Might just be an overchase, flashing in from the Nami to try to save, but it's not even enough. Double kill now from Caitlyn, who's going to be walking forward. Nami and Kai'Sa forced to limp away from this fight.
Overall, not too bad for Ravenclaw. They trade 3 members for 2. It could have been 2 for 2, but the Corki got a bit too excited, walked up.
I mean, you put out damage, but when you walk straight into the face of Scatter the Weak, like, you can't put your damage on anymore.
And that's the danger of the chokes, right? Exactly what happened to Corki is what could happen multiple times over the moment they fight in chokes. Thank goodness it was a outplay, let's put it that way, instead of a mistake,
Okay.
right?
Fair enough.
From the Syndra to hit her spells. 207 Herinaeus, Syndra has been quite impressive today so far.
And looks like DQS is going to be able to secure themselves yet another dragon. This time they have an ocean dragon. A little bit of missing the smite there, but no one saw that.
Maybe just let's say saving the smite to put it on an earlier cooldown.
Oh yeah, that's right. Giving the gold to the AD carry as well, you know.
Oof, yeah.
Package is up once again on the Corki.
Remember that the goalie is only 3,000 despite the big fight earlier. These things don't really climb all too much. They jump back and forth in the span of 2 to 3k.
Yep, and that's pretty much about it.
It still makes the game extremely competitive. Like,
Yeah.
it's not over by any means. Both teams have multiple options if they want to push themselves back in.
Exactly, and Ravenclaw just walking in to get that Baron Vision. Predator Boots have been proc, so it's a very fast Gragas, but he's not going to be able to find anybody on that one.
Now, if you look at this, how does Ravenclaw win? They win by playing ARAM, actually. If you look at their champions, they're actually like these sort of ARAM champions.
Yeah, that's right.
So what you do is you sit in open space, you kite around with the Corki and Kaiser, and if they try to dive onto you, you can actually disengage with the Tidal Wave because there's so many places for the team to move into and run away in these open spaces, as opposed to the chokes, which of course cordoned off.
Yeah, we mentioned just now earlier how disastrous chokes can be for the side of Ravenclaw. So Aurelia just picked up another turret and she is holding on to BF Sword, so I think it is going to be a Guardian Angel actually.
The Guardian Angel makes the fight a bit more palatable for Ravenclaw, because
Yeah.
then you can actually pressure out the Caitlyn and force people to turn their attention onto you. The moment you dive into the back line with Vanguard's Edge and Blade Surge, the rest of DQS have to sort of respect the Aurelia in the back line.
Definitely. Still so even. The goalie now, it's just 1.7k, and we're 31 minutes in. This game has been neck to neck.
Ravenclaw's games tend to be a bit more competitive. Like, regardless of the opponent, they tend to get a bit slow. They prefer to not say snowball, but team fight in the later stages. I think that's their biggest strength. Ravenclaw is a very good team fighting team.
As we move into the late game, let's take stock of the items. We see Syndra nearly completing the Rabadon's death cap. The 3 items is gonna hurt a lot. There we go.
Yeah,
The death cap.
just in time.
Yep, just in time. Gragas looking for Stoneblade, I believe, judging by the items.
Stoneplate is the best choice here because you need to be in the middle of it all. The Camille isn't really going to be doing a lot of tanky work, and neither is the Nautilus, so I think Stoneplate is the right choice. Notice that there's no magic penetration being picked up right now by the Syndra, and I think that's largely because MR isn't an option here for Ravenclaw. None of them have picked up any sort of MR.
The only sort of MR is the Mercury Trait, and honestly that's about it. Whoa, Jarvan being caught out, Death
See you, buddy.
Charge, Explosive cast down, and that's 1 kill over, and Jungler dead means that they can move over to Baron.
Moving over to Baron might be the best choice for DQS here, but if you're Ravenclaw, actually you completely ignore this. You don't walk into the Baron pit, you don't check this. You actually force the... You know what they should be doing? They should be having the Aurelia pushing up the lane.
Yeah, well, Wheels back to respond to that, and whoa, what just happened there? It wasn't even caught on the camera. Doesn't even
Massive
matter.
solo kill, I
Yeah,
think,
it's a
coming
solo
in.
kill from Sadgirl, and whoa, I really are coming in with that flash. They've actually caught out the most important. The Caitlyn goes down, 2 kills back for Ravenclaw.
And those are the core members of DQS. A lot of the damage has been offloaded on the Syndra, on the Caitlyn, and when you pick off the AD carry and the mid laner, yeah, that's a free Baron if I've seen one.
There is no smite though on their side. Jarvan just respawned, so if Gragas can find his way in for this honestly, it's just a free Baron for DQS instead.
But look at what they're doing. They're holding the Baron at 3.6k. They know that they can burst it down, but instead they back off because focus is on the Nami.
Focus is on the Nami, focus on the Camille actually, who goes down instead. I mean, both of them went down, but whoa, look at that.
Great
Ravenclaw,
voice seeker
yeah.
to amplify the damage, and now they're looking on the Baron once more. They don't know that this Gragas is there. They will finally ping him. Hello? Stopwatch?
Okay.
I think he was trying to throw the control ward
He's
down.
trying to show dominance very clearly, you know. Oh, Sad Girl just jumping over the wall to shoo away that Gragas explosive cast hit. Gragas says, "Get back, get away from me," and that's Baron down. They're gonna try to find a return kill. Not exactly a Captain Jack cleanse there. Shut down.
Onto the Corki. Eventually, we'll get the Baron buff though. So that's 4 Baron buffs, or rather 3 Baron buffs. Not too bad of a pickup because that isolates a win condition for DQS. You have to think that the Syndra overstepping around the Baron pit was the start of this train wreck that would have been the Baron take.
Yep.
Caitlyn dying soon after is the icing on top.
Oh yeah, of course. Then the team proceeding in even more after that.
That's something I noticed a lot about the teams we've seen in the past few days. Every time they lose a single member, there's almost this camaraderie where I'm not gonna let you die alone. I'm gonna try and save
I'm gonna
you.
die with you.
Yeah, but the better choice is almost always to just sacrifice the member.
Yeah, that's right. Now Baron buff on 3 people. Ravenclaw in the lead by just 800 gold. Let's see how much more they can get with this Baron buff. Inner turrets are still up on the side of DQS, except for the bot side. It looks like members are resetting for now.
Aurelia has finally got her GA, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's 0-3 and 9 Kaiser has picked up a Phantom Dancer and a Nash's Tooth.
Yeah, that's right. You can get auto attacking pretty fast. Picked up that stopwatch as well. Let's hope that she doesn't just randomly use it like the rest of her team has been doing.
The stopwatch is crucial to mitigate the damage from the Syndra coming in, and the Phantom Dancer is actually kind of interesting because it gives her the lifeline passive. It's pretty much the AD carry version of Stairways Cage.
Yeah, and I mean, we see 3 Guardian Angels now on the side of Ravenclaw, really bringing us back to those season 2 and 3 times when your last item was just 100% Guardian Angel.
The reason they need that is because the Jarvan is always going to be the diving in the backline together with the Aurelia.
Ooh dear, Irelia has been caught out. Stoneplate activated, so much being used. Irelia dropping down to half health, but is putting up a fight. Quite a big fight, dropping people pretty low. Guardian Angel being forced. I don't even know if they can get this kill.
Look at me, man. 2 people on the bot side means Ravenclaw is just going to shove me.
Ravenclaw do manage to get that turret, and Irelia does fall, but now Cataclysm straight in. Jarvan going down. I'm quite sure. No, he actually stays alive, and Syndra is the one who goes down instead. Velt in straight from the Corki. Double kill. Possibly gonna get the triple kill? No. Guardian Angel popped now. Another Guardian Angel being used, and Corki is gonna go down for the first return kill. Caitlyn solo on the edge, still trying to poke out. Camille just jumping straight in. Uses that. Yeah, Kai'Sa flashing away. Still alive. Ooh, Killer Instinct in. Nami picking up a kill as well, and now the last person.
Oh,
beautiful bubble. That is going to probably be game.
Yeah, they should be looking to shove in here with the Baron buff, and the reason I was shouting Kai'Sa is because she was left completely untouched. They went through the list of who to kill, right? So they picked off, oh okay, well, we get the Aurelia, next we get the Corki, but they forget to check off the Kai'Sa.
Yep, that's right.
Left completely untouched in the backline. She was able to output the damage, and Ravenclaw will proceed on to the finals, knocking the favorites out, Drama Queens. But despite a massively impressive run, they will find themselves eliminated from FSL Vietnam.
And honestly, I mean, this game was really like Drama Queens. Yeah, they lived up to their name. This game was so dramatic, all the way up to the end. It was just anyone's game.
Yeah,
Kai'Sa picking up her first 2 kills during that last team fight. I mean,
she was 0-3 and 9 up to the point she won that fight.
Exactly. I mean, she was definitely discounted by DQS. They didn't respect the damage that she put out, and she clearly showed, you know, that Kai'Sa is still
pretty strong in the champion.
Pretty strong champion.
Like, I thought the laning phase could have been better. A large part of it was from the Kai'Sa was the itemization, right? We're talking about this power dip when you do get the mana mune, but eventually when you do come online, mana mune is a really good item, just because of the excess of mana you have from building it. You don't have to worry about running out of mana. You can take these prolonged fights, and the passive itself is pretty good when it comes to dueling people out. Right now, guys, we've confirmed our finals for the winners bracket. It's going to be Box Ladies going up against Ravenclaw in a best of 3. So our first series, and we'll at the end of it, we'll find out who is going to be representing Vietnam in FSL Elite later on in September. For now, guys, we're going to go for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.